Welcome to the HackAware Deep Dive. Today, we're really digging into something serious, a critical investigation. We're going to break down the anatomy of a sophisticated financial fraud. The scam platform impersonating what we're calling the XE scam in Sri Lanka. Over the past few months, we've seen this sharp acceleration in highly coordinated online scams across the country. And we're not talking about your simple email phishing anymore, not at all. We're seeing organized rings impersonating major trusted international brands, in this case, XE. They use that name to lure victims into these fake currency conversion tasks. At HackAware, we actually received a very detailed report from a victim. And when we looked at the evidence, the pattern was, it was immediately recognizable. This is an amateur hour. This scam uses one of the harshest psychological manipulation models we've seen active in the region.
It's a devastating playbook. And you're right. While we haven't been tracking this specific scam for months, the methodology is, well, it's depressingly familiar. We've talked to victims who have lost around 3 million rupees.
It's 3 million.
Their entire savings.
Yeah.
Just drained in a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
And if you aggregate the losses from reports we're seeing, the total damage could easily be in the billions.
And that's really what drives our focus here, the human impact. We have seen parents lose their retirement savings just trying to secure a better future for their kids.
Yeah.
We've seen sons and daughters fall into immediate debt, and young adults watch years of careful savings just disappear. And it is so critical to stress this point. The victims are not naive. They are targeted by a system that is engineered from the ground up to feel safe.
That feeling of safety,
Yeah.
that is the core weapon. It's not the old model where the pressure is obvious from the start. No, this is built on layers. Layered psychological manipulation, manufactured trust, staged proof. The real danger begins, not with risk, but with comfort.
Let's talk about that comfort, because they copy XE's colors, the branding, the whole layout almost perfectly. So if you're cautious, you Google XE,
Right.
and you see this legitimate, highly polished global company. The scam relies on that mental shortcut. Familiarity becomes their first weapon.
Exactly. They're leveraging what we call cognitive trust. You already have a positive association with the XE brand, so when their fake platform shows up, even with tiny differences, your guard is already lowered by, say, 70%.
Okay, so let's unpack that. How do they move from that general trust into specific compliance? How does the system start guiding a victim deeper?
It starts so softly. The initial contact is completely harmless. A friendly, low-pressure message offering easy online tasks.
Nothing scary.
Nothing. You say yes, maybe you're expecting a simple survey or something, but then right after that, control is intentionally shifted. It goes to a second handler, someone who seems more formal, more professional.
That's a subtle but really clever move. That handover makes it feel like a real company, like there's structure, a hierarchy.
It feels like a proper onboarding process. You feel like you're being taken seriously.
Right.
And that feeling is reinforced when they send you the link to the platform. The site itself is shockingly tidy and functional. It mimics the real XE interface, the colors, the menus, the language. It feels legitimate.
And because you've already Googled XE and seen the real brand, your brain just connects the dots. Your defenses are now critically low.
And then comes the first bribe. It's designed to buy your time, not your money. When you log in, you see an instant Rs 30,000 welcome bonus.
Already in your account, framed as starting capital. I wonder how many people actually pause at that moment and think free money is rarely free.
Very, very few. Because it's framed as an investment in you. It appeals to that desire for a low-risk start. So you're immediately given a sequence of these small FX-style tasks.
Okay.
You complete them, and you slowly drain that 30,000 rupee bonus, but your displayed profit is rising. Slowly, maybe 100 rupees per conversion. And you eventually end up with about 2,000 or 3,000 rupees in earnings.
The numbers are still tiny, but the key is that they feel earned. You feel like you've gone through a process. And then comes the master stroke.
The small withdrawal. This is the definitive psychological anchor. The handler actually encourages you to withdraw that small earning, the 2,000 or 3,000 rupees. When that small, verifiable amount of money lands in your actual bank account, any skepticism you had isn't just lowered, it is obliterated.
Because it's tangible. It's real money in your real bank.
Yes.
So your brain makes that ultimate faulty logic jump. If money came into my bank, this must be real.
Precisely. That real payment is the single biggest investment the scammers make. It costs them a few thousand rupees, but it buys them unlimited trust. It trains your brain that the platform can give money, not just take it. From that moment on, Any doubt you have is silenced by the memory of that one successful withdrawal.
Wow. So once that anchor is set, the manipulation shifts, right? It goes heavily into social engineering.
This is where they move from, technical deceit to relationship deceit. The victim is added to a Telegram or WhatsApp group.
And this group is filled with what look like other successful members.
It looks like it, yes. They're all sharing fake profit screenshots, staging these cheerful conversations, offering scripted encouragement to newcomers.
The atmosphere feels authentic. It feels active and really profitable. You feel like you've just joined this exclusive club of earners.
But the chilling reality is that almost every single account in that group is controlled by the scammers. You, the victim, are often the only real person in the room.
The only one.
The only one. And the purpose is twofold. First, it provides immediate social proof and a sense of belonging. It normalizes the idea of depositing large sums of money. Second, it's a built-in defense system. Whenever you express doubt, the group immediately jumps in with reassurance. It's a perpetual cheerleading machine.
And then they take that social proof and they refine it. They start grooming you privately.
Yeah, selected members, not your main handler, will DM you. They'll say things like, hey, I doubted this platform at first just like you might be, but trust me, I'm earning really well now. Here's a tip.
It feels like guidance from a friend.
It's targeted emotional conditioning. It builds immense personal trust because it doesn't feel like sales pressure. It solidifies the emotional belief that you are absolutely on the right path.
So now all the emotional barriers are down, and that's when they move to the financial escalation.
That's it. You're told that to unlock real income, you need to make your first significant real deposit, usually around 25 to 30,000 rupees.
And this is where they use generosity as a tool.
A psychological tool, yes, to build momentum. You deposit that 25,000 rupees and your dashboard instantly flashes a balance of 33,000. A spontaneous 8,000 rupee bonus.
Which is just a number on a screen. It's a manufactured profit.
It's just a number. But that sudden jump triggers feelings of being valued, of optimism. You didn't just deposit money, you feel like the company rewarded your commitment.
Right, it triggers the principle of reciprocity. They gave you something, so you feel this subconscious need to commit even further.
You see the number go up. And the fear of risk is just. It's overshadowed by the excitement of profitability. This is the stage where they have complete psychological control.
And here's where it gets really, well, interesting is the wrong word, but this is the moment the system turns. It goes from a supportive friend to a ruthless creditor. This is the high-end conversion trap.
Absolutely. At a very precise moment, when your balance looks attractive, the platform presents a mandatory, high-commission, high-tier conversion task.
And you see the potential profit, so you initiate the task.
Of course. Now, in any legitimate financial system, if you don't have enough funds for a trade, you get an error message. The trade fails.
Right.
But here, the system is engineered to cause loss. The cost of this task is intentionally higher than your balance, and instead of failing, it completes the transaction.
And drives your balance instantly into the negative.
Instantly. That sudden plunge triggers genuine fear, panic. You've gone from feeling profitable to being in debt to the system.
But before that fear can solidify into doubt, the relief mechanism kicks in.
The Telegram group and your handler provide immediate, rehearsed reassurance.
Don't worry, this happened to all of us.
You just need to clear the negative balance, and then you can withdraw everything. It's a forced step. It's engineered to trigger fear, then manufactured relief, which then drives compliance.
And that private DM from your fellow investor comes in to reinforce it. They're so close. Don't quit now and lose your bonus.
They're exploiting the sunk cost fallacy. You're now paying not for profit, but to recover the money you've already put in.
This is where victims stop chasing profit and start chasing recovery.
Yes.
The high-end conversion becomes unavoidable. Clearing the negative just boosts the fake balance, which leads to another block, another mandatory task, another negative balance.
It's a financial treadmill with no finish line. The layering is key. Small rewards, rising numbers, sudden negative balances, and then these urgent debt clearance requests. It's a cycle that makes victims stop questioning the system and just focus on the number on the screen.
And that's why people resort to depositing so much more than they ever intended.
That's right.
They get loans, they pawn valuables, borrow from family, because they truly believe they are just one step away from that massive withdrawal that will fix everything.
It's a perpetual loop of fear, hope, relief, and deeper loss.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture, the final phase is just about maximizing extraction.
Until the very last moment, when the victim finally attempts to withdraw that huge fake balance, which is usually astronomical by now, the platform introduces new, fictitious, final obstacle.
And we see the same excuses over and over. Security fees, verification charges.
Special government taxes, margin requirements.
Yeah.
Each one is presented as the absolute final step before the money is released.
And victims pay. They pay because they feel completely trapped. They've invested their money, their time, their emotional energy. Walking away now means accepting it was all for nothing.
They've been trained to believe they're at the finish line. The scammers exploit that desperation until the victim literally cannot access another rupee.
And the end. It's always sudden and absolute.
As soon as they determine no more funds can be extracted, the operation just shuts down instantly. The handlers disappear, the site goes offline, the Telegram group vanishes.
And all those profits you spent weeks chasing are just gone.
And victims realize, far too late, that everything was staged. The profits, the community, the professionalism, even the tasks themselves, it was all a carefully constructed theater.
So we have to reflect on the lessons here. Impersonating trusted brands turns our own familiarity into a weapon against us.
Yeah, it bypasses our rational defenses. These systems don't start with threats. They start with comfort and manufactured recognition.
And this is so critical for everyone listening. Emotional engineering shapes your decisions step by step.
Even smart, responsible, diligent people can be manipulated under this kind of pressure. If you've encountered this or fallen victim to it, you are not foolish. You were manipulated by a sophisticated psychological system.
And if you are a victim, remember this. Silence protects the scammers. Speaking up, reporting this pattern, sharing your experience, it's the only way to warn others and disrupt this machinery. So what does this all mean for you as you're navigating the digital world, looking for legitimate opportunities?
What raises a really important question. When does the appearance of structure, of professionalism, of a supportive community, when does that become a greater danger than the appearance of obvious risk? We're so often told to fear the shadows, but these scams teach us to fear the bright, polished front.
A final thought for you to explore. The only things that were unequivocally real in this entire scam were the transfer of money out of your bank account and the profound feeling of hope and then betrayal. How can that level of deep emotional engineering be countered before that very first anchoring deposit is ever made? Stay sharp, stay safe, stay hack-aware.